Welcome back to Bricks and Banter in association with Cope & Co, episode 6. Some interesting topics today, lads.
Big topics.
Changing trends in the estate agent world. Simon, I'm sure you'll have some fun things to say, mate, as always.
We'll give side. Why you invite me.
Give side that whole section.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Difficulties marketing properties and tenants in situ. That's talking about us, and also management takeovers on your side, isn't it?
It is indeed, sir.
I thought that would be a good topic because we're facing a few, not issues, but difficulties with that now. So
Yeah, it's
good
difficult.
point to talk about.
And then we're going to spin the wheel at the last one.
We will, yeah.
So, mystery topic. I don't even know what's on the wheel anymore.
Fun and games, mate.
Same stuff.
FAQ of the week, office shenanigans, property flashback. I'm sure you'll have something for that. So if we get that, you can just do that one.
On the spot.
Bring it on.
How is everyone, boys?
Oh, fantastic.
All good, mate, thank you.
Feels
Busy at the moment.
Yeah, it is. Feels like it's been a while since we've been sat around this table together.
Yeah, it's got to be pre-Christmas, not this year, I don't think, has it?
No, we did. We did
January
the first
feels
one.
like it's been going on forever.
Oh, no,
though.
we didn't. Because you went on the first one.
Yeah, I've been away for it.
Is that a...
No, I'm back.
I'm back.
Yeah,
January.
sabbatical.
And then we got watched last week by the girls.
Oh, well, that is...
All took over.
Yeah.
How'd that go?
The views are good.
4 hours later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great to edit. I had a great time.
Yeah.
Edited down to 10 minutes.
I was going to say January feels like it's dragging a bit, doesn't it?
Oh,
But
mate, it's been
Do you think?
January
yeah,
48
I feel
or
like
something.
it's been going on for weeks, but it always does. But I've been like proper busy as well. Like the days have been flying.
Yeah.
I don't think it's been that.
Been picking up.
I think it's been quite quick.
Do you?
Don't you?
Speechless.
Oh, yeah.
I can't speak. I can't speak.
I can't think about it. It's been an odd one, really. It's been really busy.
Yeah, it has been really busy.
More so than the last few Januaries, which have just been level with the rest of the months, really. So
I'm going to
good.
stop you because it looks like you're struggling. But
I am. Yeah.
I was hoping it was
Do you
going
want
to
some
be
water?
no, I'm fine.
You know,
I'll just slowly
the
die
first
and-
week. I was hoping because we were hoping it always picks up, doesn't it, when you come back from Christmas break? And it didn't as much as I thought it would, but it has now. Like
you know, I
these
think-
past 2 weeks, it's like, I don't know,
It's like
inquiries,
buses, mate, isn't
viewings, yeah, and it's obviously because of, I think, mortgage rates and the HSBC coming out with like the lowest that we've seen in however many months.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Yeah.
And I think that's following suit. Hopefully, other people jump on that. But
Nationwide have just announced that they about 0.81% they're bringing theirs down by. It's not much, but it makes a
helps.
difference, doesn't it?
But I'm
Massively
seeing,
helps.
yeah,
It's
I'm
below,
seeing
if anything
like,
below 4%, I think.
the
It's
inquiries
actually,
are coming back. I'm
yeah.
booking viewings again. Like we're getting blocks in. So yeah, it's going good and good busy, and I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
I think vendors are changing agents a lot at the moment. We're getting a lot of
God, yeah.
stock. Well, I'm not saying we're getting a lot of second agent stock, but
No.
it's
100%.
high. It's higher than it has been recently. But that's
Definitely.
because our fees are a little bit higher, and some people are fee driven, and
Yeah.
they've come to terms
course
with it that
Yeah,
what you
yeah.
get, you pay for what you
Yeah,
get, basically.
Yeah, exactly, that's it.
Especially in a challenging market like this, it's
You
it's
need to
finding
stand out,
buyers.
don't you? Because there's
Definitely.
quite a bit going on at the moment,
Mm.
so you need to stand out, really.
Onwards and upwards, hopefully, and
It is.
the difficulties towards the end of last year. But yeah, going good, isn't it?
It is going good.
Yeah.
Now, I've chosen this first topic because it's something we talked about before we moved to this office, and on the property industry eye today, Foxtons, who are a notoriously large UK, it's nationwide, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Nationwide agent are closing another branch.
Wow.
They're a high street
Yeah.
branches.
Yeah. Seen them
But-
around, yeah.
Do we think that that agents are closing branches,
Yeah.
either reevaluating their businesses, not necessarily just becoming an online agent or anything, but
I think
it's
so. I think it's just a knock-on effect from the death of the high street, really, in general, isn't it? You don't get too much footfall through the city
well, no
centres in
tangent. A
general.
little tangent though. From when we were growing up, Revolution
Yeah.
closing
believe
about
it.
200 different.
Yeah,
clubs.
It's mad, I know.
They've kept Revs
Mad,
to
innit?
Cuba, though, haven't
Yeah,
they?
yeah.
They've just
That's-
closed the actual Revolution.
It's the
but-
same in Derby, though, isn't it? That's the one that's
Yeah.
always like.
It's
the
always been
queues
like the
outside, but
centre,
Revolutions
yeah.
on the corners just never really got anything going on,
No.
has it?
I mean, I don't go out that much now, but when we went out the other week, Derby was just dead, innit?
Dead,
It's
mate.
like
On a
ghost
Friday
town.
night,
It's
honestly.
crazy.
Yeah,
It
but
was
I
like
think
a
that's
Tuesday
I
or
think that's
something.
shifted though.
But it's
'Cause
January
I
as
think
well.
I think people prefer like these like beast like little gastro or
They go gastro pubs, couple
Yeah.
of cocktails,
Yeah, it's a
because
good
those
vibe.
pubs now accommodate for what everything else is, so you can have a cocktail.
I just think like the food since like COVID, I think the food's just gone up. The standard of food is
Everyone's
just
had to, haven't
sky high, isn't it?
Everyone's had to.
You won't know, you don't like enough.
No.
You just provide the goods on the allotment, don't you?
Yeah.
I just sell it and market
Sell it
to you gullible people that eat it. I think it's indicative of most high streets now, as Sean said, footfalls down. Again, without using the same thing back in my day, people don't want to go into a frontage to get sales particulars and chat. I do miss face-to-face. I miss it very much so. More so than anything, really, but I don't think people have got the time. I think that's the main thing.
And
they don't want to pay to park. They don't want the time to go in and collect these details when you can sit at home and in the comfort of your own armchair and browse and go.
Yep.
And I think that's certainly if I was setting up.
Carry on, I'm just going to flick these phones off.
You know, I wouldn't set up one in the town centre.
No.
You know, I think somebody said to me the other day, you could be on the moon, and you literally could be now.
Yeah.
Well, I think we've always had that, haven't we? Because at our old office, it was kind of like, you use the word hybrid, don't you? Because it was a bit of both.
Well, we're a bit hybridy now. I mean, we've got 3 offices, haven't we? Which aren't none of them are high street. What, we've got this one, which is a.
Yeah, we haven't lost anything from that. We don't need it.
No, because I mean, in my opinion, when I brought this up, this was. I mean, we're going back to. I mean, you remember this tenant fee ban.
Yep.
When we all sat in a meeting talking about what we're going to do because we're losing a massive bottom line from tenant fees, and we decided then we were forced a little bit, but then on the flip side we sort of said, well, we don't get a great deal from, and I'm with you. I did like the face-to-face stuff, but you didn't get a lot of it because they were all window shoppers.
They were, and you were naturally always in one road, one street called Estate Agents Row, and they'd ping down on a Saturday what I call tyre kickers and just go down the street into each one to see what was happening.
Yeah.
Again, I certainly wouldn't set up one in the high street.
I think way back when that was product placement, wasn't it? That was generally the gist of how you'd get your name out there. You'd be present on the high street. Whereas now, because social media is so prevalent and all the portals are a lot more,
you don't need to.
You had to be because you didn't have Rightmove, you didn't have.
This is what I'm.
You only had
Here's
paper.
a stat for you.
Yeah, exactly.
So, a total of 2,893 estate agents' offices closed, and 1,906 lettings branches closed.
Yeah, doesn't surprise me.
So they're both independents and franchises, and also nationwide businesses. So it doesn't massively surprised me.
I being at Copenhagen, I worked for a company up in Sheffield, a nationwide company, and we were in the city centre, and even then we barely got anything coming through the door. It's not also like what you were saying about parking stuff. It's not great for your employees either.
No.
Especially because you want them to just get to work and get on with the job rather than
fight for a spot.
Having to bloody fight for a spot or pay for a load for parking or
walk
a great distance.
I think if you're office based, then it was fine. You found your spot for the day.
Yeah.
If you're in an out value or whatever viewing, then it was always a nightmare for contractors and potential vendors.
I didn't even think about that side of things. People coming to the office to pick keys up.
No.
It was always a nightmare.
But that's why I went for this office though, because we were going over another one, which is across the way, but then you had just enough parking spaces for us.
I love the placement of this office. It just works well. For everyone, really.
It's perfect.
Like I say,
really
when you
good.
mentioned your old job, mine was in Ilkeston, and we had to pay for parking to be near the office, or you had to walk in from 10 minutes out into the town centre, and that was just a nightmare for parking.
Yeah, just too many people can get things at a click of a button now.
I think now,
you
get it sometimes, especially when I was working late, and some people huff and puff when they think they have to come and get keys from you a million miles away, but actually you're eliminating the stress of them needing to fight for a parking space in the city centre, walk to you. But it could cost them £5 or £6 by the time they come to whereas here.
With a car full of goods.
Exactly, you're in and out, aren't you?
I think most people go to the outlets and the marinas and those sorts of things. I went to the Wellington Marina the other day. Rammed. You couldn't find space. Those sorts of places are a lot more busier than your high street. And you're walking down the high street, you look into what's left of your agents, and there's nobody in them.
The problem, the thing is I think it's just a dying breed now because those areas you're talking about, the rent is that high that realistically only hospitality is going to thrive there, or some form of retail. You're not gonna, you're talking 40 grand plus a year for rent. it's too high. It's
You
so
do lose
high.
that personal connection.
It's
but-
indicative of the way life
me.
has gone, though, isn't it? It's just we've
Yeah.
fallen on the wayside of the death of the high street. That's just how.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's like you say. At the same time, people can ring and still come in and meet
Very
you.
much so, yeah.
It just avoids the people popping in on a whim, really. But
Yeah.
I don't particularly think we've lost anything. I don't.
I don't
I think if anything, I think it's
worked out
Better.
beneficial.
Yeah.
But
because
that's just 'cause from like potential time wasters or people that are coming in. I'm not saying people are time wasters, but there used to be points when I was in lettings and people would come and they wouldn't be suitable and we'd have them downstairs for about an hour, and that's time that I could have used elsewhere, but they've just obviously walked past and popped in. And
yeah, it's a bit
now
alien
all
now
done
when
on-
people say,
yeah.
"Can I come in your office?"
Yeah,
it is
yeah.
alien.
Whoa. More than
It's-
welcome.
yeah,
but
it's
at the
crazy.
same time, it's just a bit like, well, I think
Yeah, it's different.
the way we operate anyway, the way we're set up, because we everything we do is obviously through a portal. Them coming into the office, it doesn't really make a vast amount of difference because it's the
all
same
done,
process
yeah.
as to whether they do it at home or whether they're with us. It's no quicker or no more
No.
efficient if they're sat here.
And that I think that process has helped us like in
Many
efficiency
times,
and
yeah.
everything. Like since COVID came in and everything changed and it just kind of went upwards from there.
It's easier.
And it
It is a lot
improved,
easier.
improved in quality of everything, didn't it? Like doing the credit checks before, getting all that online.
100%.
It's just
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
yeah.
Or
It's
you
streamlines.
moving packs and everything like that's all
Gotcha.
emailed
Yeah,
over. You get it.
everything's
Streamlines the process, but also it cuts costs, doesn't it? You know, if you're, I only worked in the shop front briefly. When they've got the advertisements, the paper cutouts, how cost effective is it to consistently be changing your
Well,
branding
I have
boards
this
and
argument because to pay someone to do that, I couldn't do that now.
Mm.
Because I used to do it on a Saturday, didn't I? Back years
Back
ago
in
when
the
I
day,
first
yeah.
started, it was a Saturday job, and you had
Changes
to do it between the week, didn't you? But
stuff.
Yeah.
if I thought, oh, we're actually paying someone a
Yeah.
salary, and they're going to sit there and do that for half an hour, it's like,
Yeah, it's not.
Do you know what else I just
What are we
thought?
doing?
Because we spoke about this before. You know, when one of the girls upstairs bought a house and they made her come into the office.
mm.
Everything's online now. You just send everything over.
But
and
that's
she
the same.
works
That's
full time. The office is like was over at Ilkeston. It's not like local.
Over to
having
5
to get
off
there.
5, whatever.
Yeah, like that's just a nightmare. But like I say, everything's just kind of updated.
the thing is that there's like different agency types. Haven't there? There's like you've got traditional, very
Yeah,
traditional
of course you do.
high street
Yeah, of
high
course
street
you do.
agents, which I've got nothing against them
Of course not.
at all.
Yeah.
Carry on doing what you're doing, but
I think it's just a public perception, isn't it? That
It
a
is.
local agent will be better for them and be able to let or sell it quicker or provide a better service, which isn't
Just
necessarily
isn't
so.
the case anymore.
No.
Yeah.
Well, I'd argue it definitely isn't, because when you're like either a hybrid or you rely on more technology, there's been that many sort of technological advances over the years. We've put loads of different tech into our day-to-day running, and if you look at how they still work, which I think it's the same as it was years and years and years ago, they're still doing photos on like little
I was about to say
cameras,
Yeah.
and like
You-
there's no wide angle, there's no good wide angle. The photos aren't great. The Martian isn't great. Inventories. And I can't believe I'm even going to say this. I've seen some that are still paper. I mean, how's that even a thing
Yeah.
now?
Well, agents are still marketing properties without floor plans, without 360
EPCs.
tools,
We found
without
this today.
EPC,
Yeah.
We're
without
always
length of tenancy
changing.
agreements.
Every
now.
time I come in, James is like, "We need this. I want this."
Yeah, but
you have to be, though,
you've
don't
got
you?
to adapt to change.
You have to
The next thing I'm talking about at the moment, and you're going to laugh at this, but and you mentioned it the other day, VR property viewing. People,
How'd that work?
the
Send
virtual
someone
tour.
around there?
The virtual tour
Yeah.
that we've got. You basically will you
Oh, please, I've only just got
you
used to
transpose
doing-
it to like a VR,
Yeah.
and you can walk around the bloody house.
So it's for that development we've got coming up in conjunction.
Yeah, and smaller.
Yeah, in Smalley. That's the sort of thing because people can that app be there almost. If that
Well, you
makes
can have a
sense.
CGI
And
version of it, or
envisage
you can actually have a real life version
Yeah,
of it.
yeah. So they can come in, put the
Where-
headset on, and
so
they're
yeah, where
walking
do they
around
come
it,
into?
in theory.
You don't.
No, where do they come into to put the goggles on?
Well, no. It's whoever's got them. Because
You're sounding like me now.
but like before when you need to
I
plug them
wanna
into
know that.
you need to plug them into a computer.
Yeah.
You don't need to do that anymore. so people who've got them can use it. I mean, I'm not going to buy something for them to come in the office and do it. I'm not doing that.
Go on with the little walking pads and go walking around.
Got people walking into walls and stuff.
Like on Sims or
Not playing
something.
Call of Duty.
Liability insurance.
Come try out a movie on
Insurance
walking
going through the
treadmill.
roof.
St John's ambulance.
But no, you don't even sound mad because I could see that
It's
happening. Like that
It's the
will
way-
be a thing. Like.
I know people do that. I mean, you see it online mostly for sort of multi-million-pound developments, especially like out in Dubai and stuff, when they're trying to sell someone the dream in terms of a big development. So they're all set out of a big office, but you're talking daft money. That's how they show people what it's going to be, what the view
thing
will
is,
be like, what the layout's like.
You still and you can. We've really toned this down on like Rightmove and like advertising and stuff, but you still see it like come with drone footage or like professional photography. Like
It's just,
to me, that should be like to us it's standard.
Yeah.
He wouldn't even need to advertise that.
Mostly for others, it's additional costs, isn't it? For that
Of course
it is, yeah.
as part of the package.
Yeah.
So
Well, yeah, but we're heavily trained pilots, and you know what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah, see our new brochure, by the way.
Yeah,
If
new
you're
brochure,
having
Sean's
that,
on there.
I'm in action.
Looking deeply in love with his drone.
Do you think that agents that are potentially more traditionally high street struggle then with the transformation over to?
So
If we were that, and then we had to come all the way across to.
do you know what I think it is?
Is that an issue?
I'll use Simon as an example because when I first started working with Simon, he was showing me the ropes.
Yeah.
He was honestly, mate, you'd not believe this guy with technology. No hope.
No.
You were you?
I got by.
And then
Then
now
switch it on after 6 months,
now he's all over it, mate.
Yeah. He
I
loves
wouldn't
it.
go that far.
He loves it. The giraffe, you find.
No, but you do everything
I'm
up. You
fine
do
with that.
everything
Yeah,
with it.
I get that. That's
You're good with the
pretty
giraffe,
passable.
But I do agree with you on that. I think that.
That could just be a full age thing.
No, I think it is an age thing,
grow
but
up with the technology.
If you
I
didn't
didn't
have
grow up with
exactly.
mobile
if they
phones
didn't
and-
have anyone that was, say, of younger age and
Yeah.
like more with the times, and they
Yeah.
just kept an older like workforce, then they are going to stay to what
but
they know, aren't
on that, traditional agents, I believe, take on older people
Yes.
to work there. You know, our team is so young now. I mean, this has got to
Yeah.
be the youngest team we've ever had.
Yeah.
It easily
Yeah.
throughout.
So it's easy to implement a certain way of working.
Of course it
I
is.
find the corner for old people because people do like.
Yeah, to have that.
Of course
Yeah,
they
that
do.
comfort
Of course
of
they do.
somebody being slightly older.
But here's the argument that we were. The point we were having is sometimes when you're going across the valuations. I had this conversation the other day with Darren actually. The one that I won the other week, I went without the iPad, and we still got appointed. But the person that I went to see, that wouldn't have interested them in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
So you need to have
You've got to
two
match
ways
it
of
to
doing
each
it. But we
valuation.
Yeah.
can because we're already advanced.
Yeah,
in
because
one way.
I've been
It's-
beaten on this topic before. So when Sean's mentioned the brochures are coming today, I've been heavily against paper.
We've been trying to do that. I've talked
But
for
I
the
think
past
there is
year
certain-
trying to get something to leave, and he was like, "No, we're not. We're paperless. Like I'm not leaving anything."
Yeah, which I see.
But
Yeah.
I
But-
do think
Now
there's
he's
a
designing
part
the
of
bloody
public-
It's his baby.
But you will get part of the public that will want.
But I said
Cool.
this a year
Something
ago,
tangible, yeah.
and he's
tangible.
trying to get
I'm
him
still
to
working.
scan
Brother,
QR codes.
My
and
hands
all
are up.
sorts.
My hands are up.
I mean, you got the QR code on there.
I have put a QR code
well,
on there.
that's it, innit? So as long as the QR code's on there, everything's all
We
right.
met you halfway. I think.
I do agree though, Si, like I was saying with that guy, they want something tangible, don't they? They want
No,
something
that's,
there
that's
that
how
they can
they've
read
grown
through.
up. That's what they used
So
to.
you need
just
to-
Do you know what
like
it is?
us.
I just don't want to be samey.
No, but like as long as there's
I don't
something about us on
want
there.
to talk about like
No,
you know.
but I
I don't
think-
want to say I've got 15 years experience, whatever it is. I don't. I just want to sell the bloody
Of
out.
course you do.
I like that you're getting stuff about us as a company across.
No,
there.
I do. I
'Cause I think that's
it,
like our main
but you
value
know,
that we as
I
a company.
I see what
we're
you're
not,
saying.
like,
Do you know why I think
generic.
I've become a bit more accustomed to the idea of it? Is because since we've changed the brand, it's easier to actually.
Do it, yeah, of
It's
course.
easy to actually have an identity
course it is.
because before, we had that many different things going on
Yeah.
that it was so difficult to actually identify who worked where, and everyone was wearing different workwear, etc., etc. So
And I
Cope
think when
and cope.
COVID,
Consistency.
I think when COVID came, nobody wanted even to take your business card, let alone a brochure or anything. It
course
was
not.
paper was
Yeah.
a no-no,
Yeah.
and I think most agents then took that decision then to say, well, do you know what,
Yeah.
we're going to stop. But
Mm.
people still like
To have something,
be
yeah.
left, whether it's a card, a brochure, something.
It's a reference
I've got
point, isn't it?
just a
You're
random
leaving
question
an
for
imprint
you.
to that person.
That's it.
How have you guys been finding handshakes still? Do you go? Because I used to go through them on every view. I don't go out as much.
You're going
now.
for hugs these days. You
Oh
are,
yeah, I went for a hug the other day. did a move in, and I was like, oh, well, I was happy for her, you know. We've been gone through the sale.
This is why he stays in
Oh
the
yeah,
corner.
she was happy. I thought we were going to.
This is why Alfred stays in the back cave.
Yeah, she. But no, I just thought ever since COVID, handshake was just always a standard, but no one really goes for it now.
I do. I pretty much do every single time.
I never get really approached with
I
it.
think most when you're valuing, I think viewings are very much different.
Value.
Yeah, I used to shake every viewer's hand.
Move-ins, no. Valuing, I think, is still the norm.
with it. It's circumstantial, isn't it? I think you can read the room sometimes.
You can.
But it was like such a standard thing, wasn't it, for me?
I mean, fuck the hug. I'll give him a hug. I'm a
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm a hugger.
That's what you want.
You know what I'm saying?
I gave her a hug, and then a daughter got out of the car, and then a fella got out of the car, and I was like, well, I'm not hugging you.
Just trying to hug
I was like, I like you.
Just starts crying.
Come on, get him.
The Alsatian got out of the car, about hip high. I was like, yeah, I'm good.
I think we need to move on now, really, because we've been on that topic for a hell of a long time.
Yeah.
I'm just throwing in curveballs now.
No, I like it. I like it. We've run. You can intro this one because this is your domain.
So James just said to me 5 minutes before, I need to think of 3 topics for this. So I just randomly.
No, I thought it was a good topic.
Come up with.
But you come up. You face this challenge more than us. So.
Yeah, we're facing some difficulties with it at the minute, and it's essentially when a vendor's looking or deciding to sell and looking at what options they have when they've currently got a tenant in situ. So we have obviously the option, or say the situation where they're potentially on a periodic tenancy, so they can obviously be served notice, or if they're in a fixed term. Yeah. So there is options there, but the main difficulty that we're having is potentially a problematic tenant or a tenant that's waiting to leave and not allowing access for marketing, and the vendor's getting touchy and we can't get in. Because we had one the other day where the vendors rang me asking if the tenant's left yet. It was 2 days before he was, and then I've just had an email from Laura saying that he's extending and staying for another 2 weeks. So,
well, here's my there's certain timescales to this, and they'll say, "Oh, can we use marketing from before?" Which we don't do that.
We don't like doing
because we're consistent. We like consistency, and
we want everything to be.
There's minimum standards to our marketing, and we do it. And if someone doesn't want us to do that, then that's fine. You know,
it needs to be right. Otherwise, what's the point?
Exactly. I'm not going to be held responsible for marketing a property for 2 months when it's not in a marketable condition.
The standard we want it to be. But it's like, say, then you have people that will let you come round. But what's the point in going round to get photos when the house is in boxes?
Well, this is the thing. If it's 2 months' notice, sometimes you're okay if his tenant's okay. And then you've got the month's notice ones, which is difficult because I'm like, oh, let's get it on now. But like you said, you know, people are packing up.
Yeah.
And there's always an overlap between if someone's renting or buying a house. There's not always going to be an overlap because you don't want to move everything out in one go.
And not even that. If you've just been told that your landlord's looking to sell, it's not the first thing they want to do is then let the agents come round
Everyone,
after they've just had the news that they might be losing their home. So. It's never like easy. I think the best scenario is if they are in there, it's still staged, it's nice, we can get in and get photos and then potentially get viewings whilst the tenant's still paying rent for the vendor. That's two happy people.
That is a very ideal scenario.
Yeah, the problem
is that to achieve best price, it needs to be in best condition.
I think it's a classic case of having your cake and eat it. Most vendors want the rent until the very last day, and it doesn't matter.
Which we understand that, obviously.
I think if it's an investment property, and the tenant knows it's an investment sale, and they know it won't affect their tenancy, then they're fine with
it.
They're
we can
a lot
tell
more
them.
easy to let you in, and a lot more accommodating. If you tell them, obviously, it's going on the market, open market, then
the option for residential. Well, we've
got
to be honest.
Like I say, that decision as whether you wait.
We are transparent because if it is on a periodic tenancy, then we do advise them that there is a possibility someone will come out to view it and potentially want to live there themselves. And we've got to say that because we don't want to say that we're coming round to take it on and they're not. I was going to say a good point then and I've totally forgot, which is annoying me. Because I've got a lot to talk about on this topic because it's currently what's going through.
Do you find it difficult? Do you find it difficult with some management takeovers? Not necessarily on the tenant's perspective, but either from the other agent or the landlord.
Yeah, I think we do. There's always that, stumbling blocks. Either the paperwork's not in order or deposit situation that Laura has to deal with. They're not easy. Most agents will drag the heels of one form or another. let's say it's not an easy process. Generally, Laura can probably turn it around within about a month, and I like to really start it on the next rent due date.
Fresh
But I
clean
always
slate,
say
yeah.
to the landlords, you need to check your terms of business before you instruct me, because of the penalty clauses which are in most terms
Thing
of
is,
business.
we obviously try like a takeover, don't we, for management?
We do.
And I wouldn't say people raise eyebrows, but you know when you start getting to nitty gritty of actually getting it over, there's
a lot of work.
there's some flipping hours in it.
Yeah, there's a lot of work.
Some
involved,
serious hours
from
in it.
everything from the certificates, the copies of tenancy agreements, right to rent, all sorts of things.
Yeah.
Laura had one the other day, management takeover 4 from another agent, and the deposits were greater than the 5 weeks. So we weren't going to take the monies and then hand it back. So we put the ball back into their court and said, you need to reimburse your tenants because it's more than 5 weeks. Silence, and it's those sorts of stumbling blocks that we get.
It's little things like that you don't even think about. There's so
Well,
much that you have to
have
like.
been done.
Yeah, but we have to. The thing is, when we take it over, we're responsible for it.
Yeah,
No,
that's the problem.
£12,
Right.
£15.
Yeah, but still,
it's
you
more
get
than
fined.
the-
You can get fined
more than the
a
5
ton of
weeks.
money.
It is
Well,
a nightmare when you take one over that a landlord's been managing themselves, and it's like no inventory.
Self-managing is very different.
Yeah, because there's
again,
just stuff that gets missed, isn't it?
You see,
That's 'cause
self-managing to me is like, okay, we'll do it, but we will redo everything.
you really
because
going
we
to-
cannot-
You've got to cover all bases.
We
haven't
have
you?
to, yeah, because at the end of the day, we're taking it over.
We're not taking
Your
liability for
name's
that.
on there, isn't it? Yeah.
You know, you're not going to the fact. Sorry, you're not going to the fact that it's just more than 5 weeks. Some of them haven't even registered it still.
Yeah,
It's
So
crazy.
you're going that far back and say, well, where is it? Well, it's in my account. Oh, no. So you are going that far back. So
It
they're
is,
even
yeah,
more
it is
difficult
crazy.
in some
It's
respects.
worrying, isn't it?
I remembered what I was going to say. It's because obviously it's a bit more difficult at the minute because the investment side is obviously gone really quiet, hasn't it? We've found we've not had much investment interest just because of the rates being where they are for buy-to-lets. It's only really been cash investors which we've had any interest from, and they're obviously quite far and few in between. So when we do have these properties come on and we're trying to advise tenants, we will try and get investors out. It's not always the
Few and
case,
far between,
so-
really.
Yeah, it
There are
is.
some out there still.
Yeah, there
Oh,
is.
God,
But
yeah,
the problem
yeah.
is, it's still the rents aren't reflecting current market for most of them. That's the problem.
No.
Where the yield's sitting at about 6.5% when it should be around 7.2, 7.3%, and it's just impossible to get it there without putting a 100 or 150 quid rent increase on the tenants. That's a problem.
22.
I mean, that's a conversation we have to have as well, because if they want to look to sell it and the tenant's underpaying, it's looking at getting it ready for market before we even like discuss with the tenant. If they're under rent, what they're going to sell it for, it's not going to sell. If you've got a tenant in on a fixed term and they're not paying what they need to be, no one's going to touch it really, are they?
No,
Not going to take a loss on it but then you've got obviously vendors that mortgages have renewed or whatever, and then they're making a loss on it themselves. So
well,
it's
this is
like,
it. Yeah. Well, we get a few. Well, I've had a couple like that through lately.
just need to make sure everything's in.
Mortgages are up, and it's just not cost effective for them anymore. And like you said, they're in the red straight away. Even if they stuck a tenant in there at an inflated rate.
Yeah.
Still
But
losing
then
money.
it is an opportunity for them investors that are sitting on that cash. If it comes on at a lower rate, 'cause they need to
God,
get
yeah.
rid of it. That's
Yeah,
what we
cashing
can
on
try and sell.
You think
so.
it will change after the rental reform? No, if it ever comes in.
If it ever does. Yeah, I think rents will level out. They're probably the highest they've ever been, really. But I think they'll level out. Demand will still be there, because then it's attracting new investment landlords back into the market. And what I'm finding is they're getting rid of the old stock, the older properties, the ones that are needing the maintenance. And yes, they're more costly, but they're buying the newer builds, less maintenance, 10 years, and they haven't got to worry about it. But yeah, I think it will change.
Do you know what hit
Demand will
me?
still be there, though.
Like a realization. Like, I know rents are high. We all know that. You can see a rent on a property, but obviously we've had a tenant that was waiting to leave. We're trying to agree a sale on it, and their new property that's through the council isn't ready yet. It's being built still, so they've said, can we stay for like another 2 weeks, pay the rent, roll over. Laura calculated the rent, put it obviously the figure of what it is on an email to them. And she did another one, and I seen it was only like 8 days, and the rent was like £300 and something for 8 days. And I just thought, this is absolutely crazy that someone's paying that. I was like, that is ridiculous when you think that's just to live there for 8 days. The figures that rent is, it's just baffling.
Well, it's interesting thing to talk about, because there was a survey done start of this year about potential buyers, and first time buyers have gone up in terms of people looking to buy somewhere, have gone up a ton really.
Yeah.
Gone up like a third.
It
They're
makes
saying that they're ready to buy because
Even
you
with
know,
the high
even if
mortgage
they're looking,
rates,
if they're looking at renting, like you know, we've just alluded to, now you're looking at your rent's higher than your mortgage is going to be.
Yeah, of course it is.
So if they're in a position where they've saved money, they're going to want to get the market.
That's it. It's getting your initial deposit, but then that's why I'm hoping it's really going to pick up like onwards and upwards, because I feel like it has, especially in the bracket for sales between 100 and 200. The amount of interest I'm getting now, because the mortgage rates have just dropped slightly. I think the more that keeps happening, then it's just going to boom. It's
People
going to
think
be
we're
a
through the worst
crazy
of it
year.
in terms of interest rates hikes.
Well, I hope so.
I still think people are waiting for it to go down to 1-2%.
Yeah,
It just isn't going to happen.
No, I think soon
You know,
as
like-
you got that one go below 4, it's like it's.
I mean, in Europe, we're
that's
still very, very low. We're still lowest.
Yeah.
We were, even if it was 4% So I can't see it going below 3.5 or 3.25 anytime soon. Really
No,
can't.
think
I
it'll
don't
sit
see the
like
reason for
the
that.
year, but this should be. I get why people weren't at, what was it up to, highs of like almost 6 or something.
Well, there was ones where you're getting sort of 5-year fixed at like 4.9, 5.3, and then it went down again just before end of last year because base rates went down, and then now it's gone down again.
Crazy. If I say for people that are obviously already in their homes, I get why they're not looking to move, because if they were to move somewhere for the same house, it's like triple what they'd be paying, and no more space.
You know, we had a sale recently we've had a few sales recently actually where, you know, you this is the other side of the coin to difficulties of marketing the property with tenants, but the difficulties of trying to find a buyer for what they want when they've got a mortgage expiry coming up.
Yeah.
So, you know, we're getting contact people saying, "Oh, I want to sell now because their mortgage expiring in 4 months."
Yeah.
It's tight. That's tight anyway. But you know, we don't want one recently where it was like if you didn't pay. Sorry, no, not if you didn't pay. So your mortgage expired in October, so his new one was going to be in there. Over 6 months, it would have been about 18 grand. So we accepted a lower offer on the house because it's you know, fine, you want to get best price, that's fine, but you've got to. This is why we ask the questions we ask when we go out to these valuations to understand what people's position actually is, so we can advise on it properly. Because there's no point in it sitting on the market for another 4 months when you've got 18 grand to pay out.
No. It's a lot of dough.
Yeah, it's getting the right information, isn't it? And we try and tailor a strategy around that specific need.
Well, you do, because
nothing's ever the same. Nothing's the same.
Yeah.
You know, market stuff the same as much as you want, but your approach to it has to be different for every single one, really.
Well, yeah, you've got to obviously tailor to their needs, haven't you?
Of course.
And that's
Definitely.
the best way to manage it.
Right, should we spin the wheel?
Yeah, let's get it spinning.
Let's get some
I'm
energy.
Look, I'm
Let's
nervous.
get some energy.
I'm nervous.
Video.
I don't like serious topics.
Let's get
You
some
know what I
energy.
mean?
So, James, are you going to tell people what the hell in the gas canister this is?
Everyone knows what this is, mate. It's an air up bottle. Air up bottle. For everyone looking.
Never heard of it until James was like, I've got an air
Cope and Co. Bricks and Branter, sponsored by Air Up.
Yeah, mate, please, if you want to send us some.
It's like that kid. Did you see he was doing ice baths in like his bin, and then
And they got sent
law and
out loon,
everything,
yeah.
sent out full blown ice baths to him. Like, we'll hook you up.
What do we want here? Who wants what?
I don't know, but
Oh,
we're gonna have
get
to
it,
just wing
get
it,
it.
whatever it lands on, aren't we?
What do you have for tea?
Go on, I'll smash that
What
one
does
out.
what? Oh, is that what that
last
means?
night?
Yeah,
I
what
had-
WDY HFT? What do you have for tea?
What I had for tea last night, folks, was
We know what side.
spaghetti bolognese
Oh yeah,
with turkey mince.
home cooked.
Home cooked, made it all myself.
Oh yeah,
With turkey mince. I just want to let everyone know. Turkey mince.
nice,
I get
nice.
some grief for that, but you're pulling your face. Turkey
Less fat though,
mince
innit?
is Yep, so good, mate.
Yeah, you're onto your turkey mince at the minute.
Turkey
I asked you
mince,
the other
I'm
day,
on
and
it,
you had
mate.
Turkey bacon. You ever tried that?
I've never had
bacon's
turkey
good.
mince. Why would you have that
Get
over
on
beef?
it.
Is it just
Less
like,
fat.
I'm not less
Just as
fat.
fatty.
Yeah, less lean. Red meat as well. I'm not a big fan.
Well,
I
next
like a
time,
steak,
next
but
time you
that's
do have
it.
beef, just mix some of that brown and Worcestershire sauce.
Oh,
in it.
yeah.
Oh,
it's
that's
all about brown
disgusting.
sauce,
That's
isn't
not
it?
disgusting.
That's
disgusting.
We'll put that on like my spag bowl, mate. Just a bit of brown sauce in there, a bit of Worcestershire sauce. add it to the
you're
flavour.
different. You mate.
Flavour. Last night I had,
From a different
I went for ramen. I did some pork, and then I did my.
Little egg on it.
No, I didn't do egg. I was going to save the egg for pancakes, but I tried making pancakes the other day and just failed miserably.
Well, it's scrambled eggs.
Yeah,
isn't
I
it?
had
Well,
like
your
4
signature's
attempts.
probably ramen, mate. Mine
Yeah.
is pancakes. I'll whip up as
Oh,
many
yeah,
I
pancakes.
flopped at pancakes
I make a
hard.
fluffy pancake, brother. Fluffed
I
up.
was
Lemon
craving
and sugar.
pancakes and I still haven't had them yet.
Nutella.
Nutella maybe,
Straws.
golden syrup, bit of honey.
I'm a lemon and sugar man.
I'd have orange and sugar, and then I'd have a Nutella one, and then
Nice.
maybe if I've got some whipped cream or something as well for my
Nice.
third one. You know what I mean?
Nice.
Yeah,
You got to even it out. You don't just have like 3 of the same.
No.
Yeah, although I don't have any because I couldn't bloody make them. But, you know.
Mate, I would love to have been a fly on the wall.
Oh
Just
no,
watching you
mate!
get
40
to
minutes. 40 minutes. on
Scrambled
Sunday
egg,
night.
pancakes.
40 minutes on
Dude.
Sunday night, yeah. YouTube video on. But the reason that I've obviously flopped it is because I don't have scales or I don't know where
No,
they
you
are.
just eyeballing
So I eyeballed it.
That
So
was
obviously it'll
mad.
come out and it's like sticking to
I
the
bet it's
pan.
run.
It's
Oh,
like-
it's,
it's
I bet
like
it was
just
runny.
turned
It was it
into-
runny.
I
It
didn't
was-
even get to the flipping stage, mate. It was just scrambled egg in a pan,
Love that.
like scrambled dough. But we'll
I
get there.
had chicken, stir fry veg.
Health kick vibes, I rate
Can't
it.
go wrong, mate.
What else did I have?
I'd love a stir.
With a
fry.
bit of
I'd-
Philadelphia
Oh,
cheese.
Nah. Ooh. I know what you're
Light.
over here. Meat and 2 veg.
Go on, brother. Talk to me.
I had food from the allotment.
Yeah. I don't know,
I don't know why I come to these. I really don't.
What was that of misery then?
Go on, what did you have?
I had absolutely nothing because the oven broke.
Oh, it had to be something like that, didn't
The
it?
oven broke at the weekend. Ordered one from Curry's. Delivered today.
Why don't you come around my house?
You've not eaten anything.
No air
Why
fryer.
Why don't you put around my house? I'd have
Doesn't
cooked you
look like
something
I'm
up.
eating anything.
To be
I'd
fair,
have cooked you something up, brother.
I mean,
Hot job,
I've
it
worked
was
here for
what
like
you
4.5
could do on the
years, and I think I've only seen Si eat something like once. And
No,
that's like
he
a
just
yogurt
eat-
that I
he-
share
he
an
just-
offer
he
with
just-
him.
He just eats bloody raspberry porridge thing.
He absorbs everything through osmosis.
Tesco, that's it. That's it.
He's not got time to eat this. Like.
Photosynthesis.
He just goes out to his allotment and he just fills up on
What are you having for
something
tea? What are you having for dinner? Sorry, I just sat outside in the sun.
Yeah.
I just feel like, come on, these just be picked on.
Photosynthesis.
The turns of table, mate, since before the podcast.
So it'll be nice tonight. I'll have an open work.
So what did you have, mate? You had
Yeah, what
some
did you
hot
have?
sauce?
Yeah, but what did you have then?
What was that?
Oh, that's not bad.
good.
It's alright.
What sauce? Cheese or
Pasta's a
tomato?
go-to.
Tomato.
Oh, no.
Can't go wrong, mate.
I feel like I resort to pasta if I have no like nothing. You know what I mean? It's just
Yeah, but do you know what?
it's versatile as well.
It is. I love pasta because I think you get the pasta in there. You open the fridge.
Yeah.
You cut some stuff up,
that?
mate.
See,
Bang it in.
I've
What's
not
that
got
for?
like a lot of dishes in my
Repertoire.
in like my inventory, you know, so I have to like separate them out, and I'll have pasta as like the filler one.
Well, you can't make pancakes, mate. So
Well, that's not a dish.
we're,
is
we're
it?
in
So does
we're
it-
in a poor state of affairs, to be honest.
We'll have to do
Well,
cope and
That's
cooking
poor from you,
lessons.
that is.
Cope and cooking
It's because
lessons.
I was deprived as a child.
Cope and
Mum
cook.
always used
Oh,
to use
shut
the,
Deprived as a child.
Always
Other
used to use the
words.
instant,
Shut
like, you know,
up,
the one that you
man.
get off the shelf and just stick it
Oh,
straight in, the
oh.
vial one. So that's what I have.
My
That's
man's
what I
living
was
in a
raised
plush
with.
village in the
Flipping-
countryside.
Raised on red top
Raised
milk
in
and instant
Melbourne.
pancake.
Yeah.
mate.
I'm
What do you mean?
flipping deprived. Have a word with yourself.
Right, yeah, whatever. It's a cold life out in the sticks.
We've got the same resources out there, mate, have
Nah.
Means gas isn't a thing yet.
Internet's a myth.
They're all candlelit.
What is 4G?
We just got ultra fast and then moved house. Now the Netflix, I'm lucky if it bloody loads when I click on the program.
Let's get one of them small wind turbines.
Yeah, get one of them
I
going.
just have used to
Get
that in my
Starlink.
garden, getting some energy.
Get Starlink up and running.
Oh yeah, you need to
I
get
tell you,
one
my-
with
I
you.
think
Mum
we've
and Dad
had,
got that,
we've had
you know.
something fitted, but it's just obviously where, in obviously my bedroom, don't get it, and then now my dad's obviously cleared off and took the Cody stick with him, hadn't he? And I was thinking I'll get in the
Taking
main-
on holiday with
yeah, I
him?
was like, I'll get in the lounge, get all the films on, you know, on the dodgy stick. Got in there and Dad's like,
Shouldn't have said that, should he?
the
I'm
dodgy
reporting
stick.
him to police.
I was going to say, yeah. That
No,
was,
it's alright, completely legit.
Other sticks are available.
So I was thinking, yeah, it's sound, and I was like, you've gone away travelling. What are you taking the Cody stick for? Like, still needs.
Haven't they gone to East
Films.
Asia?
No comment.
Where are they getting internet from?
I know. Hey, we're the only country that, if he's watching football, we're the only country that doesn't get it consistently anyway.
Exactly.
Mate,
everyone else should go, mate. They've got their 3 PMs.
He's probably got better internet out there than I
Yeah,
have back
yeah.
at the bungie.
All the
You know what
time.
I mean?
What do you need it for with your team?
He's getting brave.
I hope you get. I hope
It's
you.
about time
I
back
you
to
come in
something.
and
I
you-
hope.
I've been picked
You know
on
what?
for not eating, for being on 11,
Brother.
for
I hope.
osmosis and
Osmosis.
Photosynthesis.
I hope Fulham absolutely batter you. I would put a
Brother,
bet
you're
on.
going to come to the Emirates in February and
Come
it's just
to
going to
the
be a
Emirates.
disaster.
It's going to be absolutely
Oh, my
disastrous.
days.
Van Dijk's going to be on skates, mate, when Jesus gets round him.
You bottle it again like you did last time.
Now you'll have Karim
5
Benzema on a
points on
short-term
that
loan by
Benzema.
then.
You've got a big Champions League game, mate. Oh no, you haven't.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
No, you haven't.
Sorry about that.
That was
You'll
harsh.
be-
That
I'll leave
Sorry
you
about
one
You're
word,
busy.
Europe.
You're
Sorry
busy
about that.
Thursdays.
Yeah.
You're busy Thursdays,
Sorry
bro.
about that, mate. Sorry about that.
On that note,
Should we round it off?
round it off.
Yeah.
It's lovely being back, lads. Thanks.
Yeah, it really is.
Thanks
Man.
for
Yeah, Joycey, we're all gonna get pumped when we leave here. Aren't we? I'm running out. Going out the
Wait
window,
till we
mate.
switch this off.
Look at his eyes, man. If you can
See ya.
his eyes, he's got a look of a killer. Yeah, it's been good, lads.
Yeah, thanks for listening again.
Yeah.
And we'll be on next Friday as per usual. Thank you very
Beers and
much.
ideas.
See you then.
Beers and ideas.
Be there or be square.